Hello, everybody. I hope you're well. My name is Vukosi Khosa, and thank you so much to Malamulele Interyouth's committee for giving me this opportunity to speak to you guys about money. And whether we like to admit it or not, it's a subject that excites most of us. And I felt it's important to actually share a few important truths. Number one, it's important to notice that money, or to note that money in itself is not evil. It depends on whose hands it's in. And many of us make many comments about rich people, not necessarily because they are evil people, but because we have a jealousy around the money they have, and we want to turn that into an evil. So money itself is not evil. It depends on the hands it's in. Number two, it's important to note that money, for most of us, most of the prayer points that we have could be answered just like that. It's not a supernatural miracle necessarily that we need. We just need someone to write us a check and our prayers are answered. So money is an important aspect for believers and for non-believers, because at the end of the day, even the word of God acknowledges it, that money answers all things. And so we have to note that it's a subject we have to learn. But the third thing I want to speak about, just to emphasize more than anything, is when you read the Bible in Psalm 24, it says the earth is the Lord's and the fullness in it. It says the people and all who live in it. So that goes to show us that even the money, all the money in circulation in the world belongs to God. And so we have to realize that whenever we are in possession of money, number one, it's God's money. It doesn't matter where you got it, in some way it belongs to the Lord. And so as a believer, your responsibility is to steward that money. Again, money answers all things. There are times where you are an answered prayer to somebody through the money that you give to them. So it's important that you acknowledge and you understand that you are a steward of whatever money you have. And so how do you practice faithful stewardship of your money? Number one, you have to acknowledge that God is first when it comes to money. And that is expressed in terms of tithes and offering. Actually, even before tithes and offering, just making sure that the source of the money is an honorable source. I think everybody this day is after quick, fast, and easy money. And in my years of experience, having lived for quite a while now, having studied, having worked, having been exposed to many things, I want to tell you there's no such thing as quick and easy money. There's no such thing as money that comes without you having worked for it. You will have to work. You will have to steward that money. And abundance comes because you are faithful with what you've already received. So it's important that we note that every manner, if we are to truly say we glorify God in the way we handle our affairs when it comes to money, it has to come from an honorable source. Number two, it has to be dedicated to God in one way or another. And the primary way we do that is to give God tithes. An important thing that changed my life is to realize that we don't tithe so that we can be blessed. Rather, we tithe because we have already been blessed. So it's not so tithing itself is not a causal effect. Tithing itself is because you've received something. It's a response more than it is a cause. So that's the second thing you have to do. If you are responsible, your money, number one, it's from an honorable source. Number two, you give tithes to the Lord. Number three, it's important to note that there's a difference between seed and fruit. And there are many people who like to eat seed. And the problem is that if you eat seed, when the time of harvest or the time of hunger comes, you will lack what you need because you've decided to eat all of your seed. So whenever you receive money, you have to divide that money between seed and fruit. And many people would explain seed as what you save, what you give in the house of the Lord, what you give as an act of generosity, that's seed. And then there's fruit. This is what you spend on yourself. And a wise man does not indulge too much in fruit, but rather always sows seed. So it's important that you know that whatever you receive, not all of it is to be spent, not all of it is to be enjoyed, but rather most of it is seed. And you have to keep seed for a rainy day. So just to encourage us, we have to be responsible with our finances. Those three main points. And I think now there's more pressure than ever to make a lot of money. But just to encourage you with those three main points. Number one, let every source of your income be an honorable source. Number two, honor God in the way you receive your income, or the way you deal with your income. And number three, distinguish between seed and fruit. Not everything you receive is for the sake of spending. That is the only way that you will prosper financially. Many people, I think the last remark I will make with regards to money is that many people always talk about how in order to be rich you have to save and all of that. We belong to a different kingdom, and so you have to be responsible and save, But it's important that you sow seed as well. The wealthiest of people is not because they save a lot of money, but rather they sow a lot of seed. So this is sowing into businesses. Again, reputable businesses. This is sowing into the lives of other people. This is giving to the poor. The Word of God teaches us that to give to the poor is to lend to the Lord. And God is always faithful as a debtor. He'll always pay you back with interest, you know. So it's important that you learn those things so that your finances can be better. But beyond that, just to encourage everybody, the world really does revolve a lot around money. And if you want to live a prosperous and a full life, make sure that that money works in a way that glorifies God, from the way you get it to the way you spend it. Hopefully this has been helpful to someone. God bless you, and wishing you all the best in your financial journey. God bless you.